Turner from the Muay Thai Hub, man. How you been?
I'm always good when I'm on this podcast, man. It's my favourite podcast. Favourite podcast.
You love to hear that because there's some real good ones out there.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited. Do you know what? I've been waiting for this all day. I love coming in and chatting to you guys. There's always a lot to chat about when it comes to chatting with you lot.
Nah, like you said, man, we appreciate you coming on. You've got a lot to say as well. You got obviously you got a fight coming up this weekend. You've just relaunched your clothing brand. You've changed the logos and stuff like that. So, but we'll start off with your fight. How's camp been? Obviously you've had a bit of a layoff since your last fight. So what's that been like?
Stressful, man. Very, very stressful. I've been put through my paces for this one. I believe it was Tom Kirk, funny enough, that said it not long ago. He said, you never get any. It never gets harder. You just get fitter. And then you start pushing yourself even more and more and more. And that's true. I generally feel like it does get like that. Every fight camp, I seem to be getting new goals and smashing through them. The team I've got here just do not let me. They do not take no for an answer. Like every session, it's just pushing more and more and more. And then they bring hard sparring partners in that they know I'm going to struggle with, and it's just been hard, man. Obviously, like you said, I've had a layoff, so I put on a few pounds. Let's put it that way. But the cut's been a massive difficulty, I'd say, like weight on my shoulders added to that. I started camp at 69 kilos. I'm weighing in on Saturday morning at 59.
Oh, are you around about the weight you'd like to be at this sort of stage, or have you got a bit of a cut to do?
Perfect is how I'd describe it. Ideally, being a professional fighter, you don't want to be 3 days away from a weigh-in and be on weight, because you want to do the water cut. Like, in my opinion, this is my opinion, because if you can just avoid that 24-hour water cut, and you can still have that little bit of fat, an extra bit of weight on you, because water you can replace so quickly. Whereas fat obviously takes a while to kind of put on compared to water. So yeah, I'm sitting around the perfect amount, I would say now. So I can do a little water cut on the morning in terms of have a little few sauna sessions, but it's just the right amount. It's not a dangerous amount. It's just the right amount. I've been doing so much research this week. I've given up my day job, which I'm sure we can go on to in a small bit.
You've given it up full time, or you've given it up just for this week?
I've given my day job up. I am no longer an electrician,
Wow, big
which
news, big news.
the world does not know about now, until I've got it on here. So you guys are the first to kind of hear about it.
That's
There's more
big
big
news.
news, which I'm not allowed to announce officially yet. But yeah, let's just say I'm in the sport and I'm here to stay for a very,
How are you
very
going to leave
long
all the
time.
people? There's people here watching, there's viewers, there's fans of Joe
You've got
Turner's, there's fans of the Muay Thai Hubs, and he comes on and drops some gems like that, and leaves us hanging.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you hanging because this is an excuse for you lot to get me back on it because I love coming on this podcast.
Maybe we have to do that one in person.
Yeah, I can speak to you guys about this in December, and there's a reason why I have to, and I can explain that to you in December. Um, yeah, in December, I'll happily explain it, but yeah, I am no longer ever, thank God, gonna have to go onto a building site again,
What?
and it's been a very, very long road and a lot of hard work, and I'm taking a big risk doing it, but I'm doing it. I'm jumping.
Risk take rewards. But because I remember speaking to you when you first were going back into electrics, and I was like, because I've been trying to get off trade for God knows how long, and seeing someone dive into trade and want to go into the building sites stuff like that, I was thinking, God, that's a lot, especially with training. Did you actually struggle with mixing the work and training in, and obviously running all the social medias?
Yeah, like I said, this camp's been a big mental toll on me. If I'm going to be honest, if anything, to be honest, now I'm coming out the back end of the camp. I'd say I'm probably mentally solid. Like I feel great in terms of the cut, my fitness levels, etc., etc. But the amount of times I've felt stressed, the amount of times I've really mentally struggled for this camp because I got made. I've been an apprentice in the electrics, as you know. I got made redundant from that first apprenticeship I had. Um, that first apprenticeship I had was perfect for me. I wasn't working half the amount of hours I was in this new firm I was with, which allowed me to have more time to run my pages, to train, to effort and stuff like that. So I had to. You've got to be a grown up. You've got to go and get a job. So I had to go and find another firm that was willing to take me on. However, this firm, I would say, had another 20 to 25 more hours on the week.
Yeah.
Trying to do that whilst training for a fight, which you are headlining at the O2, and running the 4 social media pages I run, and my own social media, trying to sell the tickets, which I have done brilliantly for this fight. I've done 140 tickets, which is great for me. Trying to do that whilst you're surrounded by a load of, you know what it's like on a building site, trying to do that whilst you're surrounded by a load of tradies that do not get the world you come from in terms of the fight world was difficult, man. All whilst cutting 10 kilos.
And everyone on site thinks they're like proper rough as well. Like, yeah, I'll do this to him. I went out this weekend and done this, and
Yeah.
and you've got a born killer there on site. He kills with his hands. He goes out there and does this.
I had a, do you know what? Funny enough, I had a bloke that was a little bit cheeky on site, let's say. The week before I left, I accidentally drove a cherry picker into a plasterboard wall. And mate, I'm not made to be a tradesman. I'm made to punch people in the face and teach
Yeah,
people how to do it. Simple as. Um, sorry, my
that's right.
phone just fell over. Um, I'm made to punch people in the face, and I'm made to teach people how to do it or interview them after they have done it. Um, I'd done it, and the bloke was mouthing off like mad. And then one of the guys I work with went, "Have a look, like look Joe up on YouTube." And the bloke did on his lunch break, and he went, "Come in," and he went, "Fucking hell, mate." He said, "You told me you're a fighter." I said, "You don't look like one." Like, and I went, "Yeah, I get that a lot." Like, it's cool. Like, and he was like, "Look, it. Like, I didn't mean. I was just frustrated. I've had a bad morning, etc." I was like, "Mate, it's cool." Like, still to this day, I've never had a confrontation where it's led to physical kind of fights outside the ring.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I'm out of the building trade, and I'm so happy, so
But
happy. I've got
I,
a big fight this weekend.
I feel like a lot of trained fighters don't really have a lot of confrontation outside. I feel like whereas maybe a regular person, if someone was swearing at them, they'll kind of peacock and go and try have a fight. Whereas I feel like you know what you could do to someone, and you're comfortable with ego and everything. You don't need to really go and beat up someone in the street or beat up someone on site because you know what you could do to that person, an untrained person.
Mate, you said it perfectly. Me and my friends, we said it quite a lot lately. When I like, mate, don't get me wrong, I'm a 22-year-old lad. I'm 23 this month. I like to go out. When I'm in a camp, I'll go out and I'll quite happily won't drink. Like to me, it's a distraction when you're weight cutting and stuff like that because you can go out and still cut weight and still have a good time. It is possible, and I'm a prime example of that. I say to my friends all the time, you can tell that someone, in particular in a nightclub, has never been punched in the face before.
Mm.
And when I say that, you've got some people that act like they're invincible. Like, and I mean, they act like they're invincible. They will take the mick out of anyone they see, and they kind of sit there like, "What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?" And I'm sat there thinking, if you've been beaten up before, and I mean beaten up badly, like I've been beaten up in the ring, I've been humbled a lot. I can't be asked for the drama, man. I keep my mouth shut wherever I go. I take the mick with my friends and stuff like that. If I don't know someone, I'm not going to mimic them or take the mick out of them. Like I said, you can tell when someone hasn't had a humbling. And yeah, I can't be bothered for it, man. I've had a sore jaw before. I've had a bad nose. You've seen me smashed up after fights, man. I can't be bothered for it. My head's taken enough punishment.
But we'll get on to this weekend. Obviously, you're fighting on the Hitman versus CFS. It's a big. There's two big cards. There's one on Saturday, one on Sunday. You're headlining the one on Sunday. What's the process been like working with both of them? And give us a little backstory on your opponent. Do you know much about him? What kind of fight are we looking at?
So I've sparred Corey, my opponent, before. His trainer, Simon Forrest, used to come down to spar with me at my old gym, Shin Kick. And I believe Corey works with Simon, or did at the time, or something like that. I know Simon's a roofer. And he brought Corey down with him. Am I allowed to swear on it?
Yeah, yeah.
He's fucking enormous, Corey, the guy I'm fighting on Sunday. He's a really, really big lad, but he's very skinny, so he can get down to low weights. And He's very, very tall. Until I think about a year ago, year and a half ago, he was unbeaten. He walked through everyone they put in front of him. And then he fought Alfie Pearce, who's only just lost, however's in the Rajadam Stadium rankings in Thailand. That was Corey's first loss. Corey is no muppet. Um, but like I said, I've had a brilliant camp. We've got a really, really great plan going into this fight, which obviously I'll be stupid to say. We've got a really, really good plan going into this fight. I'm very, very excited for it. I can say expect the best out of me because I feel like the best I am. Mate, I'm 2 days away from my weigh-in and I feel like I could fight now as I am, and I've barely eaten anything all day.
You've
I,
peaked.
I
You've peaked at the perfect time. You're sort of you're in that. A lot of fighters talk about it where their coaches and stuff will try and make them peak right at the right time with
Yeah,
food, everything, and that sounds like that's where you're at.
yeah. Do you know what? I am normally shitting myself at this point of a camp. This one, I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. Like the smile on my face, I'm looking forward to getting in there. Like I said, I've got a big, big support coming for me and all the guys from 21st Century. There's 7 of us on the card, including a couple of juniors, which I train. I'm going to be cornering my juniors on the day, then headlining that night. I'm excited, man. Hitman approached us with the fight offer. Dave said to me, "We've got an offer." He didn't even tell me who. He just said, "It's this date. It's Combat Fight Series versus Hitman at the time, which huge, huge show. Do you want to take it?" And I went, "Who's the opponent?" And he went, "Do you trust me?" And I went, "Yeah, I trust you. Of course I do. Do you want to fight?" And I went, "Go on then, let's do it." And he went, I went, "Out of interest though, I have said yes already. Who is it?" I went, "Oh, one of Simon Forrest's lot." And Simon's got quite a few boys around about that way. And I went, "Is it Corey Chettle?" And he went, "Yeah, it rings a bell." I went, "Yes!" I said, "That's going to be a sick fight." Because Corey's big. He knows me. But it's a good fight for me. Very good fight. It's a big name for me to beat. And I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to get on that big platform. I love fighting at the O2. It's always good. There's a Five Guys outside. Um,
Perfect for straight after that, the Five
mate,
Guys knockout.
mate, I've been researching all week the food I can eat after weigh-ins that are best for me but taste nice at the same time. I, I'm, yeah, mate, everything this camp so far, touch wood, I've just touched a desk, has been perfect. And I mean spot on. Tickets, strength and conditioning, diet, fitness, the lot.
Do you have a nutritionist or like a dedicated strength and conditioning coach, or is it sort of do you just kind of trust yourself and do your own thing?
So I've had this conversation quite a few times. I'll start with my nutritionist, my strength and conditioning. At So Martial Arts, we've got a big, big strength and conditioning area, which is amazing. We've got everything we need: sprint machine, weights, a lot. I've got Jin, a good friend of mine, who's very, very clued up on the science of S&C, especially for fighters. He's basically tailored an S&C plan over the past 10 weeks to fit me. We've changed weights all the time, done loads of work with resistance bands. It's S&C work, but at the same time revolves around throwing punches with like explosiveness. So like he'll have me holding weights and I'll explode back slow and like things like that, and using bands, using my own body weight for certain explosive exercises, using my legs, which will help my kicks. It's all had reasoning behind it. There's not been one time where I've gone to him, "So what's this do?" And he'd gone like, "Right, this helps with your right hand, this helps with your left hand, this helps with your kicks, this helps with your teeps, your balance, this, that, and the other." There's always been a reason behind it. In terms of nutrition, I've got to thank Katie.
Yeah.
Um, I've got to thank Katie, man. She's tailored basically a plan for me fight week, which you know full well, man. When you're a fighter, you've interviewed enough of us. We're obsessed with this game, obsessed with it. And nutritionists are expensive, man. And unfortunately, in Muay Thai, at the stage it's at the moment, it's heading in a great direction. And we can get into that later on. It's heading into a great direction, but there ain't a lot of money in it. Ain't a lot of money whatsoever. So Muay Thai fighters, they can't afford nutritionists. Can't. So we have to rely on doing this stuff ourselves. Have to. Um, like I said, this week I've studied stuff to eat after the weigh-ins, and I'm still not completely clued up on it. The whole reason why, if I'm going to be honest, the whole reason why I did the post the other day on water loading on the Muay Thai hub and stuff like that, I want to learn more about it. And if someone puts something up useful on it, I'm going to take that away.
Mm.
But going back to it, yeah, man, I learn a lot from Dave, Katie. Dave's very, very clever. He's going to hate me for saying this, but he's very, very clever and clued up in terms of dieting. He's done every diet under the sun. He's a big fan of fasting and stuff like that. I haven't done any fasting for this camp, but Katie's very good in terms of cutting and what foods to eat, what foods not to eat. This week, obviously, it's been no carbs, no salt, cutting out fibre, water loading. There's so many foods you can't eat, and it, the knowledge I have now compared to 10 fights ago, completely different. Completely different. Things I thought were right were wrong. Like, yeah,
Does it help having experienced people like Katie, experienced people like Dave, who have been around the game for a long time? Obviously, I know you do a lot of coaching with them. You work with them. They've been your coaches for God knows how long. So, does it help putting all your trust into people like that?
100%. 100%. It's very hard to look at someone for advice that hasn't been there and done it. Um, in any aspect of life, let alone fighting. These guys have cut weight. These guys have fought at the highest of the highest level. Um, I know they've been in my shoes. Yo! Um, I know they've been there and done it. I know they've kind of done every aspect of the fight game. And I know they're very intelligent and there's reasoning behind it. Again, I always ask, why? What's this do? What's this do? There's reasoning behind why they tell me not to eat fibre on certain days. There's reasons why they tell me not to have salt. There's reasons why they tell me to cut out carbs, like when I get close to a fight. And I'm taking things away from that and I'm learning it so that when I'm in Katie and Dave's position where I'm a full-time coach, I can pass that on as such.
What's it been like with you? Obviously, still running the brands Muay Thai Hub. We know it's hit major. Like, you're doing massive numbers at the minute. You're everywhere. You're at Leapfrog shows. You're doing commentary. You're training for a fight. You were on site doing sparking. So how has growing your brand been, and how has it taken off?
A fucking nightmare. Let's be on it. Being honest, it's been hours and hours and hours of time where I've been exhausted, time where I should have been resting, time where I should have been asleep. It's been a lot of half one nights in the evening. It's been a lot of 7 a.m. wake ups. Actually, no, even earlier than that because I need to get up and finish the editing. Doing it whilst I'm on my lunch break at work, whilst I should be eating. I've then been eating whilst I'm working, which has then annoyed my employers. I'm really sorry about that if you're watching. Um, I've been warned at work so many times for being on my phone when I'm accepting collabs from people. Like, it's just completely, if I'm going to be honest, in the most selfish way, it's taken over my life. And I wouldn't want anything else because it is going to be my future. Um, but, like, man, it's just been a headache. And I would recommend to anyone to start their own pages. But to get it to a point where the videos are top-notch quality, you've got your subtitles, you've got your music, you've got your intros, like you guys do. You guys know how hard it is to do what you do. To go to shows every weekend with Leapfrog as well has been an absolute privilege. But again, very time consuming, very draining whilst you're in a camp as well. But we got it done. I've loved every second. And yeah, man, I think part of the reason why I'm just in such a great mood whilst cutting weight at the moment is because everything is heading in a really, really good direction on all places of my life at the moment. In terms of my fight career, I've got a big fight at the weekend. The gym is doing incredible. Leapfrog's going strength to strength. My pages are going strength to strength. The MMA page is kicking off. I'm getting into MMA more. I've got MMA merch for the first time ever. The kickboxing page is getting strong. The boxing page is getting strong. I'm going to boxing shows and I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm not only a Muay Thai boy now.
Did you like MMA and boxing beforehand, or is it something you've got more into while being at the shows and running the pages?
If I'm gonna be honest, I was a fan of MMA before, but only UFC with the big names. Um, I've now started going to Leapfrog's MMA shows, and I've loved it, man. Just seeing the whole amateur MMA scene, the whole raw aspect of it, the whole slightly bigger MMA gloves, but more swinging aspect, and they just love to brawl. And Vulcanite, I was at the other day, mate. It was the talent on that show, and it was free to watch for Leapfrog subscribers. Just pointing that out there, free to watch. Like, and I'm sat there. My job is to film them guys. Like, that is the best job in the world. Like, and I've got into that, but I've got to admit, Charlie Herdman's been a big part of my new love for boxing since I've started going to his shows and being involved with his shows on the Boxing Hub, getting involved with advertising the fights, going to shows, filming his fights, getting to know his fighters that are regular on his show, getting to know Charlie, how great of a character that bloke is. Like, it's really shown me on the amateur boxing scene, especially, that there's a lot more in common with them guys than there is in the Thai boxing scene, the MMA scene. They've all got so much in common. And the thing is, they all want to grow. They all want to grow. They've all got dreams, and they're all trying to get it.
Yeah, we had Charlie on last time we done the live stream a couple of weeks ago, and it was impressive what he's got going on there. I know he's got some big news to drop this week as well. Obviously, he's in the comments. He's got Yes Joe and Get Up, so he respects the comments from you. What's been your favorite part of this sort of journey with commentary and doing the fighter interviews? What do you prefer? Do you prefer filming the content and editing it and putting it out? Do you prefer interviewing the fighters, or do you prefer the commentary side?
Um, the things that stick out for me, there's probably two things here. Meeting the people I've met. I've spoke to people that I could potentially fight one day, and I've had really great conversations with them in terms of talking about the love we have for fighting, talking to coaches about how their fighters got on, talking to fighters about how they got on, where they come from, what they want to do one day, interviewing fighters, what's the dream, interviewing kids. Why did you start this sport, mate? And they're telling me all these stories, mate. It's so cool, and it's something that I think, do you know what? How many people actually get to do this? And the second part of that will be the feeling I give people, without sounding big-headed. Like, when I do a post for someone that's took me a long time, or I do a video that looks really, really good, and I manage to edit it just right and make it look good, make a fighter look good, advertise their fights, promote them as such. And they send me a long-winded message saying, "Holy shit, mate, that's just made my day. Oh my god, this is brilliant!" Like, and this is like an amateur fighter or even a professional fighter. I've had both message me. That makes my day, seeing stuff like that, and it makes me realise that what I'm doing is doing good, and I'm helping the sports. I'd like to think I am.
Yeah.
Um, the yeah, the feeling I give people and meeting the people I've met, and to get my name out there. If I'm going to be honest, I want to be known as someone that's trying to do good, like trying to genuinely do nice things for people.
Yeah, now you can tell though, because you're everywhere. You're sort of you're always respectable for people. Obviously the way you do your interviews is brilliant. The commentary, like, I think that's your most natural, other than fighting. Obviously, that's probably the commentary. The way you can break things down, like that, I could definitely see a future in that for you as well, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, and obviously it's my life. Fighting is you can stick me come in a commentary box for a boxing fight, an MMA fight, a Thai fight, kickboxing fight. I will quite happily sit there and talk about it, and I will break everything down, and I will happily do that, like, with passion, and to make those fighters look good, to advertise that show. Like, that's another level feeling, completely. And now obviously I'm with Leapfrog. They're opening up doors for me that I've never had before. Um, And like I said, they're going from strength to strength, as well as obviously where I am now as in my gym, stuff like that. I've got the freedom now with Dave and Katie. They kind of allow me to do what I can do, what I'd like to do in the gym, training my own juniors. Mate, it's brilliant, brilliant.
Obviously, we're just going to bring the boy Rain in quickly as well because we know he's got a
Good
few.
commentator, Rain.
Yeah, you took Rain under your wing. Rain. No, no audio. Get him out of here, Mike. He don't know how to work a fucking mic. Here we go. It's back to me and you. But obviously you've rebranded the Muay Thai Hub. So quick two questions. Why did you want to take away from what it looks like with the Muay Thai Hub there? It's very iconic to the porn. To the porn. But that's what caught my eye for it anyway. Um and why did
Right.
you want
Hello.
to rebrand
Hello.
it to
Hello.
black? Yeah, we can hear you, man.
What? Am I back in?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
you're
back
in.
in, my
You're
man. You're
in.
back in. So,
Yes, Joe.
hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, man. How are you? You good?
I'm great, thank you. I'm always good when I'm with you boys.
How's your camp been?
Camp's been mad, man. Camp has
Huh?
been mad. Very, very
What?
busy.
What?
So to answer your question just a second ago, whilst I've got wake up brain at the moment, so I need to do one thing at a time. Um, I rebranded the page. Hang on.
Yeah, he's got the mugs as well.
Someone made that for me.
What
It's
does it
got
say?
Joe.
Don't be a melt. What does it
No,
say
it
on
says,
there?
if you can see it.
Joe the Melt. He's got
Oh,
merch coming out as well, people.
no, no, no. I was having a meltdown the other day in training. Typical weight cut, and someone made that for me because I was being a melt apparently. So they thought they'd make me feel better. I branded the Muay Thai Hub because I put my sensible head on in terms of actually mass selling the brand in terms of the clothing because the new supplier I've got is genuinely amazing, like genuinely brilliant. The cotton, the polyester, it's brilliant. It's good for training. It's good for just wearing in general, and it's affordable. I've purposely put the price mark so low down to the point where you can't really argue it, and it's delivered to your door for completely free. I've put the delivery free as well. Um, I want to get it out there. Long story short, and to get it out there, I've already done the Pornhub logo. I want to appeal to absolutely everyone now. And let's be honest, like, of course, you guys find it funny. I do too. But the amount of times I've walked down the road and I've had some well funny looks. Well funny
It's
looks.
because
And I've had,
it does it like that's like the first time I saw it and how it caught my eye. It generally looks like you look as if you're going to look back. You're like, I'm going to see Pornhub. He must
yeah,
work for Pornhub, and you turn around and you're like Muay Thai Hub, and then you're like, do you know what? Marketing's on point.
yeah.
Yeah, his marketing's
But,
bang
like,
on, man.
I've had people kind of say to me, I'm uncomfortable wearing your tops. And it got me thinking, do you know what? Like, I need to think here. And I sat there for months. And I wasn't lying when I said it took months and months of designing and finding the right kind of thing. And I decided to do something really simple, change the orange to white. So now there soon will be, again, you guys are the first to hear about it. Once this first batch comes out, the next one will be the Pornhub option. You're going to have an option as a customer to have the inappropriate Pornhub choice or the appropriate one which you can get for your kids with white. So you've got your choices here. There we go. Charlie's just put there. He's currently wearing the new boxing one. Like, I've had such good feedback on it. But then again, you've got. I've now allowed people to have their funny option and their sensible option. That's the plan. That's why I changed it. The boxing gloves as well. Still to this day, like I said, Muay Thai it's a growing sport. It's mainly for the Muay Thai. I kind of put the boxing gloves on them. If you see on the Instagram logos and stuff, a lot of people still don't know what Muay Thai is. Like, people think. Sorry, my phone keeps falling over. A lot of people think Muay Thai is like a karate kind of. When they see like even my friends to this day, they all go Muay Thai and all that. They do, and then they come to a fight show and they see us put gloves on and they're like, "Oh my god, this is actual fighting." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you expect?" And I put the boxing gloves there to show that this is a brutal sport and it's a sport that involves boxing gloves and rules that are very similar to boxing and cage fighting, kind of all mixed in one. and there's a lot of blood and brutality, and it's great.
No, it's good that you've got the two options there as well. Because, like you said, maybe some people would feel uncomfortable wearing it, especially if they were going to put it on their kids or maybe a woman or something like that, etc.
Yeah, yeah. That was my thoughts, to be honest. Like, I had a few people come up to me saying, "I've got your tops," and I'm like, oh, I never see you wearing them. And they're like, "Yeah, because I keep getting funny looks." And then they kind of gave me a few ideas, and I was like, "Do you know, you're onto something here." Like, not
Mm.
even in terms of I never want to make money from it. Obviously, it'd be nice to kind of live on a private yacht one day and be as big as Nike, but it's not what I want from that. I don't. I want my pages to be somewhere that's helpful for people, somewhere that's sharing the sport we all love, somewhere that's sharing the boxing, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai that we all love.
So if you want to purchase it, but obviously you don't live around your area, how would like what's the sort of
It's
navigation with
very,
that?
very simple. I've got a list which I keep on my phone, which is probably not the best way to do it, but again, I'm still learning. Of the stock I have, I check stock probably once every month to make sure that list is definitely correct. People message me going, "Hello, have you got any of this in large, this style, this etc. etc." I'll check if I have it. I'll confirm the prices with you. I'll confirm with you that delivery is absolutely free of charge. You transfer me the money. Very, very simple. Into the new Muay Thai Hub business account, which I've only just managed to start. Again, another headache. Um, it gets posted out the next day. That's literally it, man. I pack it. I've got a whole drawer at my house full of postage parcels, and I just literally take them out one at a time. I handwrite every single parcel that I sell. They all get a little note saying thank you for supporting me. It's hard work doing that while training for a fight, running the
Yeah,
pages,
you got a lot
working.
going on,
Yeah,
man. There's a lot of
busy.
mixing it in, but if you can still function off of that and get the jobs done and win the fights and get to where you want to be, then I don't see any problem in doing it.
Yeah, man, it's going strength to strength. If I'm going to be honest, like I said, everything is looking up. Touch wood.
I do want to touch on the John Haggerty obviously becoming the two sport world champion. Did you watch the fight? If so, what did you make of the performance?
I watched it obviously the next morning. If I'm going to be honest, um, obviously it was stupid o'clock in the morning for us.
Mm.
Um, I was shocked, man. I was praying. I'm being honest, like as an honest UK Muay Thai fan. Nongo was one of he's the goats, man. He's one of the goats. Like the bloke was unbeatable, unbeatable, and I had every hope in my body that Haggerty was going to win because it's massive. If he won that fight, it was going to be huge for UK Muay Thai. Not only putting Haggerty on the map as a champ, but with the British, we can smash up goats and all that. And, it, and he did it, man.
What about the kickboxing? The kickboxing fight? Did you manage to catch any of that?
Yes, again, watched it after. Um, buzzing for him, man. Like after he knocked out Nongo, I knew he was going to beat Andrade. Is it Andrade? How you pronounce his surname?
I think so,
Um,
yeah.
I knew he was going to do it. Like when you're that on that much of a high and that much of a momentum after knocking out one of the greatest fighters to ever live in Muay Thai, you've got to be on some sort of like rush going into that fight. Like I am a king. Like that's
Yeah,
how I would feel.
unstoppable.
That's how I would feel if you just knocked out arguably the greatest of all time, like one of the greatest of all times, and you're going in there with a guy that's just a current champion. There's levels, man, and Haggerty showed that, and he was in there to get him out fast. And
Mm.
good, he was like, and it's no disrespect to his opponent whatsoever, but it's good to see him do that, man. He's killing it, absolutely killing it, and he's showing that hard work pays off.
Would you say he's the best English striker out there at the minute? In all sports, like just in if we're talking combat sports and English, he has to be one of the best strikers in
Yeah,
English
yeah.
in
See, I was
combat
trying to
sports.
think that in case I missed someone out in the UFC or something like that. But in terms of striker,
Yeah,
Haggerty by far,
like because
by
I
far.
would back him to go into a MMA fight against someone who's not like wrestling dominated, and it could be a bit of a stand up. And I reckon he pieces 90% of people up who want to stand up with him.
Let's put it this way,
Pieces
right?
people up, man. He's brutal.
I would not like to be hit by that bloke in 4-ounce gloves.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, big time, man. Like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. Cool. Nah. And that's a professional fighter speaking. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, there's a time where you have to kind of go, nah, I'm all right.
Not today.
Haggerty he's another level animal. And even, I think, people were saying about him fighting Liam Harrison, who obviously Liam was one of the possible greatest of all time in terms of Britain. And even Liam was like, look, guys, I haven't got that much long left. Haggerty's on another level at the moment, like, kind of thing.
He's
Like,
outlandish.
I don't think there's anyone in the UK that can give Haggerty a run for his money other than possibly Nico Carrillo.
Nico Carrillo.
I would like to see that fight.
I think he's fighting. I just seen he's fighting
Knockout.
Nongo. Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't think
Knockout.
Nico Carrillo was in their weight class. He's flipping massive.
That's why, and this is why, someone asked me about this not long ago. They went Nico Carrillo or Jonathan Haggerty. And Haggerty on paper is Nico's the underdog in that fight. They're on paper, let's say. But what you've got to take into account is the brains that Nico has behind his camp. JP, his trainer, is very, very clever at picking people apart, putting game plans together. Nico, like you said, is enormous for that weight. He is a big, big fighter for that weight class. And if he pieces up Nongo like Haggerty did, that's a big, big domestic fight. Big domestic fight. Like, and there's every reason for that fight to happen.
What about if Nongo just had like an off day and he pieces the shit out of Nicaragua?
But then we'll find out. Then we'll. But even Haggerty said, I saw on a video not long ago. Haggerty said, Nongo deserves his rematch because Haggerty did get him out there. And like you said, he might have had an off day.
He got him out quick. Yeah.
Nah, he did get him out quick.
He got him out there quick.
He
So
did.
for one of the considerably greatest of all time to be pieced up that quickly is not. You don't see that very often.
Mm.
And for him to be on the run he was on, then suddenly just get smashed by Haggerty that quick, not seen that often.
No,
So I agree with Haggerty in terms of saying, do you know what? Maybe he does deserve a rematch. I think he does. But I think let Haggerty have some fun, man. He's smashing everyone up. Let him call someone out. He's just won the title. Like, let him fight a few people first, and then start calling people out. And yeah, there's a lot of big potential fights in that weight division. Big
Nah,
fight.
that's brilliant, man. Obviously, thank you for coming on as well, because I know you're getting off to training at 6 o'clock. You
Yep.
got to do them last hard, grueling sessions.
Rough.
Is there
Heat
anything we've
accumulation.
missed? Is there anything we've missed that you want to touch on quickly before we let you go?
Could I just say some thank yous to people?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
For this camp especially, my team, Katie, Dave, everyone at 21st Century, Gin, Finn, my pad man, they've been my rock, like, quite literally. I know that sounds really like soppy. They've really been my backbone for this fight camp. My parents especially as well, they put up with a load of shit. My little sister, bless her, is 12 years old, she's in the car with me all the time, going to training with my mood swings and stuff like that. I've had to deal with a lot this fight camp. Emotionally, I've been a arsehole to be around this fight camp. I have, and I'm starting to realise that now. And it comes when you're losing so much weight. I'd like to thank everyone that put up with me at work. Another one, I'd like to thank my friends that I haven't seen in a very, very long time because I've had to make a lot of sacrifices for this fight. I haven't seen my friends, basically. I haven't made enough time for them. And I apologise for that. I'm going to do you all proud on Sunday. And I'd like to thank Leapfrog Fight TV for giving me the opportunities they've given me. Because, yeah, man, they're killing it and they're helping my life be better.
That's brilliant.
And yeah, the guys at my gym, I love them to pieces, and they are the best team in the world. And I genuinely believe that they are the best team in the world. So yeah, my team, my family, my friends, Leapfrog, who I consider my family anyway. I do all proud on Sunday, and I love you all. Big time. All you
Massive
lot.
massive good luck to you as well, and we hope you smash
Yeah,
it. We
man.
hope you get everything that comes to you. Obviously,
Salute, sir.
headlining as well. So, people, if you haven't got a ticket, you can. I think there's still tickets available. The pay
There
per
are
view is
indeed.
out. I'm assuming the pay per view will be in your link in the bio or something
Yeah,
closer
I
to
will
the
be
time.
advertising it nearest time.
So people head over and watch that because it is a mega card. And Joe, thank you for coming on, man. We'll
Mate.
we'll definitely catch up with you when you got that news to drop.
Yeah,
And come
like I
down
said,
to
December.
yeah.
December, I can announce this big news. I'm
Yeah,
looking
wishing you
forward
the best
to
of luck,
announcing
man.
it. I'm more than happy to come travel to you guys. I love getting a chat with you
100%,
guys. Last
100%.
thank is obviously to you guys for having me on. I absolutely love being on.
Nah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you, man. Do your shit, man. Get
Thank you
it.
guys. I'm gonna get off to training now.
Down laters, brother.
Yeah, see you later,
Have a
brother.
great evening. All right, I will speak
And
to you
you,
all
man.
soon, and see you later.
Laters, Joe.